Hey everyone. Welcome to the AutoCal Sprint Report number 3. We had a good one this last 2 weeks. I was able to knock a lot of stuff out and get things much closer than I would have expected to. So, happy 2/3/23. So let's go through this. Let's see what we got done. Yes, thanks for the opportunity to do this. It's been great to work on my own thing as a and yeah, got some great feedback. Seems like it's rolling along, and people are understanding it. So it's not just this thing that's stuck in my head. And yeah, so I want to get in front of more people and more people using it and see if it's useful. So, old plan for this sprint was to get the ability to edit raw contexts, just giant blocks of text. Gonna split up the edit context modal. We actually ended up splitting up that into two instead of one, just for ease, a little bit better UX. To get a config modal in there, so you can set your patterns and whatever other options we might want to have, and some documentation just kind of in the app, so to help folks kind of understand what we're trying to do here. So try to keep it easy, and we did pretty well. So as our edit context screen. So got our raw text in there, so that's great start. Saves okay. Is our config screen great? Got our extra start and help screens. With some hopefully some good words to help folks figure out how to use this thing. And then we got some extra stuff that managed to fit in there too. Maybe it was a little underestimated as far as what we could get done in this amount of time. So we got a landing page going on. Gonna be recording a video here for that shortly, to kind of just walk through the tool. We got selection working, so you make a selection from your plan and it lands in your messages. Was not expecting to get that so soon, but figured that one out, and it's pretty fun. And good deployment. We have a cloud instance running. And one user seems to take up about 1.5% CPU when they make a request. So that's good. That means we can at least handle 50 something users on one tiny little free tier box. So that's a good sign. Okay, it's a little big. So the landing page came out of AutoCal. Said one day, hey, why don't you work on the landing page? I said, okay, let's work on the landing page. And it went faster than I expected. It's been one of those things where it's kind of a bigger block in my mind than it was in reality. So that got done, and it's opening up a lot more options as far as like what can we do with this thing in February. Hopefully I'm going to roll it out to my networks at some point after I finish demo video. We'll show some folks. There's a button to make some money. So let's see if anybody clicks on that button. Let's see, the free tier is great. I'm really happy about that. My big concern right now is latency, because it seems like one request takes 600 milliseconds to resolve, which is not too useful. But maybe it'll be okay. It's not showing here, but one of my early users said that they were thinking about how AutoCal could be useful just over the course of their day, which means that the idea is sticky. There's something in there that resonates with people to the point where they're thinking about it outside of using the tool. That's the secret sauce. In my mind, that's the secret sauce. That's the you want something to be sticky in people's minds, so they think about how it can be useful. So that means at least the core of it is communicated and potentially resonates with folks. So opportunities for improvement. Maybe not make these slides so big so they're not all cut off at the bottom. Trying to read more about launching stuff, and there's a lot more misinformation than there is good information. There's a lot of chatter out there about how to do startups, especially everyone wants you to validate, and this is not validation. This is building first, and then see if it's useful for folks. So I don't really know how I could validate this idea first, because it's kind of new, kind of a new function, a new efficiency. So Well, yeah, we'll see. It's just the way of things. Now is the time to kind of validate it, to say like, okay, here's a prototype. Does this make sense? How can this be improved? So yeah, but I do see the need to find growth opportunities. Like where can I put this thing so it can grow and more people can use it? Because that's what I want now. I just want folks to use this thing so I can get feedback and see, does this make sense, and how can it be improved to be kind of the selection mechanism for people to do their day and kind of free up that kludgy, just started work. Now what do I work on today? It's to me that's a challenge. That's you have a huge list of things. What is the items to take next steps on, right? Because what do you have to do? You have to like either have a plan that's laid out in stone and that you just adhere to regardless of what happens, or you try to do it every day and you kind of load your whole list into your brain and say this is the most important. And that's a huge burden, and you're not going to make the best decisions because you're not impartial whenever you're loading the whole thing into your brain and trying to make decisions. You're just kind of like you're subject to the whimsy of your situation of maybe you woke up late, or maybe you wake up early, or maybe you might not be making optimal decisions at the time if you're trying to select what you're doing for a day on that day. You might be saying, okay, well, this one thing is front of mind because there was a message about it, so I'm going to work on that. But really the higher priority item would be something that you've known about for a long time, right? So anyway, the long story short, just trying to add some smooth to people's work lives where I find that there's a rough point. So okay, and yes, and of course selection is not optimal. It definitely needs a little bit of work to get to the behavior that I really want to see, which would be kind of like you want to it gives you the best possible tasks every time, and of course I also need to expose some of the mechanism to users to be able to modify for their particular needs. For instance, you can the pattern selection will by default it will trend towards the pattern you indicate, but it won't guarantee it. And so there might be folks who say, I want the guarantee. So there is definitely some levers and knobs I want to add to configuration to make selection more optimal and more adjustable. So that that way, if it's not working the way somebody wants, they can fit a little bit and get closer to what they expect. So. And there's a lot of interesting literature on this that I've dove into a little bit, but it's definitely I need to get this thing out there, and before spending months reading on selection algorithms, I should make sure that this is something people are into before investing that much time to it. So yeah, so I guess the iterative improvements that I want to make is to as occasionally I do meet with other folks about this stuff, and I anticipate having more meetings as I try to roll this thing out, as part of the marketing sales efforts, and as well as just getting some feedback from other startup folks. But I had an issue this last sprint with a lot of 30-minute work blocks, which is not cool. It's just really hard to get started and stopped for me on stuff like that. And of course, job hunting, plan B, is an emotional roller coaster, and I get way too involved with potential future employers. So yeah, but at the same time, I don't have unlimited funds, and I'm coasting on goodwill right now. But so I need to kind of keep that in my back pocket as a thing to do, because this is not making me any money. And I don't know what world you live in, but I live in a world where I need to turn this thing into something that's both useful for folks and delivers value and ends up a little bit of that value in my pocket at the end of the day. I know that's not a popular thing to express in startup land, but we have realities we need to deal with, and the alternative is to go after investors. And this is not hyper growth. This is make something useful and keep it afloat for people. I don't want a unicorn. I don't want $1 billion company. I just want to make something that is useful. And so that's kind of the plan there. If there is job hunting activities going on, to just kind of try to isolate it as much as possible and just dedicate like a half day to all to that jazz of like preparation. But that's not all Cal. That's just external circumstances. So anyway, next sprint we want to get a demo video done, put on a website. Definitely want to fix this couple bugs we got to knock out. Been fixing bugs along the way, but we really got to make sure that all the low hanging fruit bugs are taken care of. I'd really like to put get some syntax improvements in there. Back working on AutoCal Core, which is the crux of it all, and I've been working on the Slack part for a while now. At least over half the time has been working on the Slack. So it'd be great to get back to the core tool and start to implement some of the improvements that I've been wanting for a long time. And to get a soft launch to actually get this in front of about 100 something people that I know, and get some more feedback, because right now it's been pretty light as far as like who I'm showing this to, and inviting to the Slack and all. So anyway, that is all. The end. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to check out what we're doing, there's the link in the description below for getting into the beta. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks, y'all. Bye bye.